All right, you just heard my conversation with DNC Chairman Jamie Harrison about the challenge Democrats face in the upcoming midterm elections. Is his plan enough to counter the Republicans' madness? Joining me now with their reaction, MSNBC political analyst and Democratic pollster Fernand, and back with me again, the very shy, soft-spoken Roland Martin, host of the daily digital show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. Glad to have you guys back. Fernand, I'm going to start with you. You just heard the interview. What'd you think?
With all due respect to everything that the Democrats have done, I don't think that explanation is going to cut it. Folks need, and I've learned this working on several campaigns in the past and saw it firsthand in the Obama campaigns of 0 and 12. They need a clear, distinct, disciplined message, Tiffany, that is repeated often. It starts with telling the truth. As we've talked about on this program in the past, the Democrats have a wonderful story to tell, and I think it could be distilled to something as simple as the Democrats saved your life, they saved your job, they saved the economy, and now they're trying to save democracy from a Republican Party that no longer believes it. If they stick to that type of message, which is the theory of the case, the facts of the matter, what happened, and they get a little bit of help, as Roland said, taking that message all around the country, letting the race be dictated on those terms, I think that is a winning message. Let me talk about the help, though, because it's one thing to try and disqualify a Republican Party that no longer believes in democracy, but you need a little bit of help. If the Department of Justice and the Attorney General Merrick Garland do not start issuing indictments, not to the frontline Proud Boys and picnickers on January 6th that led an insurrection, but to the perpetrators of the crime, the members of Congress who we now know through text messages were plotters, the ringleaders at the top echelon of the Republican Party, up into including the Republican president, Donald Trump. Voters are not going to believe that. They're going to just think it's political back and forth. The Justice Department needs to hold the perpetrators accountable. The Democrats need to tell the truth. We saved your life. We saved your job. We're trying now to save the economy and to save democracy.
What do you think about that, Roland? And we played your sound for Jamie Harrison, and you heard his response. What's your thoughts?
Pull
it together,
I sat
Roland.
there. And I like Jamie, and he's probably about to send me a text message, and that's fine. That was a 9-minute segment. How many specific achievements did Jamie mention? 1. $20 billion in student loans. And the problem was...
Well, he talked about broadband.
Said, well, that's not actually student loan forget. No. He mentioned broadband, but you have to be specific. We put billions here. This is a number. This is what we did. We've got a Department of Justice, led the Civil Rights Division, led by Christian Clark, who's sitting here putting people in prison for hate crimes, putting these people in who are correction officers in jail, holding police accountable. You have to drive the message. I'm looking at the Democrats right now, their Twitter feed, and I'm looking right now at, okay, is there a meme that I can click and save and send out? Nope. I'm going through all this sort of stuff. How are you not dropping memes every day that people can share, then populate across TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms saying this is what the administration has done and how they deliver it? That's what you have to do. You have to be driving home. We've done this and this and this and this, because the average person, frankly, doesn't know. They're not living this thing every single day. And so I know when you hit the questions, Jamie should have said, okay, I'm not dealing with that. We've done this and delivered. You have to be constant and hitting. People go, y'all did that? Yes. And say, guess what? We did it. They didn't. We voted for it. They didn't vote for it. So who do you want? Somebody who sits here and doesn't want to cut the price of insulin, or those who do? That has to be constant.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think, no matter how bad Dems are at messaging, we should never take our eye off the ball on what happens across the aisle with the GOP, because that's where the real challenges are, if you ask me.
No, you're not taking your eye off.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, Roland. But just take a listen. I got you. But take a listen, Roland. Yep, I got you. Take a listen to James Carville on his thoughts on the Democrats. Take a listen.
Democrats whine too much, Chuck. Just quit being a whiny party and get out there and fight and tell people what you did and tell people the exact truth.
Fernand, what do you think about that? James Carville's had a lot of opinions on the Democratic Party and Democratic voters. What are your thoughts on his words there?
Tiffany, he said what I just said. Democrats have a fantastic story to make. They have a case to take to the American people that is based in 100% truth. It's why I said earlier, they saved your life by making the vaccine free of charge, available to everybody from this pandemic that has killed millions around the world. The Democratic Party, through the leadership of Joe Biden, did that. They have saved the economy with many of the measures that were taken in the first days of the administration to now have unemployment at historically low levels. They've created over 8 million jobs. And we know they are trying to do everything in their power to save democracy, because the choice here in this election is democracy or fascism. If these Republicans gain control, they will not give it back. We will lose democracy. And if you lose democracy, it's not the sort of thing that you get back, oh, well, we'll hold it out in 5 years. You may not see it again in your lifetime in this country.
Yeah.
They saved your life, they saved your job, the economy, and they're trying to save democracy. Make the case, like James Carville said, like Roland said, and like I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's the message that voters need to hear. So we had a lot of time with Jamie Harrison, so we had less time with you gentlemen, but you both were amazing. So thank you, Fernand Amandi. And Roland, come back on this coast so you can join me on set, and we can have this conversation more. Thank you both for providing very important context.
Let's roll.
And coming up next.